Hey, Mr. Clash here, and today we're going to have a look at this four corners base, and we're going to be attacking this base with what I consider is the traditional army to 3-star this base. When it first came out, a lot of people were struggling, and we discovered an interesting way to attack the base that works pretty well every time, as long as you've got max golems, witches, and wizards. Okay, so the traditional army, I've made slight little variations on this because I did bring in a baby dragon. 15 wizards, a baby dragon, 2 hogs, 3 golems of my own and 1 in the clan castle, plus 4 witches. Okay, so the normal way to attack this base using that army composition. Drop a couple wizards to start the process a little bit earlier because these archers are not in range. Then you drop 1 golem on this archer tower with some extra wizards and your 2 witches. Then you drop a golem on this archer tower with some wizards and your 2 witches, and once that's looking pretty good on that side, then you can drop another golem onto this cannon. So that way you're getting 2 golems will be pathing around together on the left hand side, and you can probably drop a couple other wizards down here. So what happens is this golem will then path south. Okay. Now you can drop an extra wizard here if you want to lend a helping hand as the golem path south a little bit, but generally that right hand side you don't have to be too concerned about. Now the left hand side, that will start to move around the base. And again, you need to be reinforcing wizards as you do so. Just dropping, I'm not saying that they are the wizard areas you need to deploy, because you're going to be dropping your queen and you'll have wizards around, but you just constantly need to keep reinforcing the wizards to keep all the troops sort of closer to the wall. I'll just clear that off and we'll just move this up a little bit. Okay, so there we go. So these golems will path around this way and eventually get to here. Remember, this is all being taken out by that right hand side. Then they'll break a hole in the wall. This is what the jump spell's for. Then you have a rage and a heal for the core. Now usually somewhere around this area, somewhere around here, you usually need to drop a heal spell. Now sometimes it can be on your Barb King when this archer tower and the cannon start to shoot the Barb King. Sometimes it can be because the Expo has locked onto something, maybe your king, maybe the queen. But usually you're dropping a heal around this area to keep either the king or the queen up. And again, and you're dropping your other golem around here somewhere, and the king comes in around here as well. So when he comes in, he's coming in with a really good lot of health, so you're not having him walk the entire way. And of course you do drop some wizards around the place, extra wizards, and then as they path over you can drop some extra wizards where you think they need them, and then this other part takes place. That's the usual way that I've been hitting that base, and it works pretty well. So what we'll do, let's have a look at that in action. Now what did happen was first when the witches got nerfed, you can see that I've just put that in there. I probably came in a little bit too soon with the golems, but that was okay. So the golems, they could probably have come in like a couple seconds later. So the golem on the right hand side, you see the 2 witches have gone down on the right hand side. Now you can see that 3rd golem coming in onto that cannon now. So once that archer goes down, that golem will go to the cannon and then go to the bomb tower. So that's all working pretty good. Balloons and a baby dragon have come out of the clan castle. So I've had to drop the poisons there. The wizards and witches are locked onto the baby dragon and it locked onto the golem. I'm really hoping to get the balloons down before they get a drop off, and it's looking pretty good. Okay, so the right hand side, like I said, you can forget about it, or you can drop an extra wizard if you want to help them out. Now you can see I've just dropped a few other little wizzies around on the left hand side to take those far away corner things away. It's out of the picture. So everything is kind of forced to stay closer to the walls. The right hand side wizard tower has just gone down to the witches. A few other things will just go down with the skellies and the witches over there before the witches are all taken out. So the golems keep walking from weapon to weapon, and the golems will trigger the big bomb, so you don't have to worry about the golems. So here I've dropped the king in at the moment. So the golems are tanking, the king's come in, I've dropped the wizard at the bottom. Now you can see there's the archer tower. That's why sometimes you do need to drop the heal on the king. Now in this case, that Expo has locked onto my queen. So now that it's locked onto the queen, I will have to drop a heal spell for the queen. I'll probably drop that heal spell a fraction prematurely so she doesn't stay in it for as long as she could have done. But that's okay. So I dropped a couple of barbs down there. The reason I dropped the couple barbs was just to provide a little bit of extra distraction on that cannon. Probably the timing wasn't 100% right on those barbs, but that's okay. So the extra wizards have gone down. I've still got a wizard up my sleeve. Nothing else to drop. There we go. We get the wizard in, and I've still got the baby dragon and the hogs. So now that they've broken through the wall, select the heal spell, select the jump spell, select the rage, select the heal, come back, select the hogs, come back, select the baby dragon. So there's a lot of troop, drop, troop, drop, troop, drop, troop, drop. So you have to get pretty good at going from those heals, from those spells to each other. So you can just see how the middle of the base is just getting wiped out with everything that's in the middle of the base. So what we'll do is we'll have another quick look at this in replay, and then that will be it for today's video. And just seeing how the four corners base was taken out. You can see, make sure you check the ranges of those archer towers first before you drop your wizards, because you don't want to drop wizards and then have them just die before they actually do anything. But you don't want to drop your golems too soon, because maybe that extra 3 or 4 seconds is what the golem needs to make it a certain distance for you. For instance, if I drop that golem maybe 3 seconds later, then the golem lives for 3 seconds longer further on, the one on the right hand side, and then your troops can take out a little bit more extra stuff. Now it's really important that you come in with max golems on this. If you don't have max golems, that one on the top right, he won't make it all the way down to the right hand side, and then your troops won't clear the right hand side, and when you come around they will all have to path up and around to where that wizard tower on the right is, and possibly even further, and then that's how you can run out of time with this. So the traditional, my version of the traditional army for this base, it worked beautifully every single time. Max base didn't matter. This is how it went down every time. Even if you were a first time attacker using this, this is how it pretty well went. Then they nerfed the witches, of course, and then that stopped this particular troop combination from taking out the base. Other troop combinations still worked, like whether or not you wanted to come in with certain hog attacks or do a bit of a queen walk thing with some hog coming in as well. But that was really a dependent thing on whereabouts the queen was placed in the base. If the queen was outside, you could queen walk with a rage spell and take out the queen. If she wasn't, then that made it a little bit more difficult. And of course, you've seen hog attacks and loon attacks as well on this base. But once the queen's inside, this is the way that I've always had success with. It pretty well works every single time, unless you yourself, as the person deploying the troops, kind of stuff something up. But otherwise, this is pretty well how it works. So as you can see, the hogs coming in. Now the hogs do a little bit of work here in the middle. They do take out the Tesla on the left-hand side. They don't do a tremendous amount because the raged wizards managed to take out everything much quicker, and even the raged wizards went to come over and help the hogs there. So, and the baby dragon still survived as well, no air traps. So that is how you take out the four corners base, very popular base, and we've been seeing it a bit lately in the most recent wars. So I don't know, might be making a bit of a comeback, but that's how you take out that base with GOWIWI. Now the question of the day is, why did the barista quit his job? Why did the barista quit his job? Because he couldn't stand the daily grind. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Do leave the video a thumb up. Do leave a comment on the video as well. Let me know what troop combinations you use. I'd like to find out the different troop combinations that people use to attack this base. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.